tank of capacity 25 liter has an inlet and an outlet pipe. If both are opened simultaneously, the tank is filled in 5 minutes. But if the outlet flow rate is doubled and both taps are opened, the tank never fills up. Which of the following can be the outlet flow rate? You're getting it? So basically he's talking about a tank which has a capacity of 25 liters and it has got an inlet and an outlet pipe. So regular process. And if both are opened simultaneously, the tank is filled in 5 minutes. It takes 5 minutes to fill the tank if both of them are opened simultaneously. Understand, both opening simultaneously here would mean that you are filling the tank and parallelly also emptying it, right? Both the processes work parallelly, right? Simultaneously. And it will take up 5 minutes to fill the tank, which means the inlet has got higher capacity than the outlet. Only then the tank will get filled in 5 minutes. Yes or no? If the amount of water going inside the tank is less than the amount of water going outside the tank, then it will never get filled up. But here, since it is getting filled up in 5 minutes, obviously the rate at which you are filling is higher than the rate at which you are emptying it. But then he says, if the outlet flow rate is doubled, meaning what? Outlet flow rate is doubled means what? You remove double the quantity of water when compared to the original case, right? So if the outlet flow rate is doubled and both taps are opened, again if both taps are opened, the tank never fills up. This tank will never fill up, right? This tank will never fill up. So which of the following can be the outlet flow rate? So I think you have understood the question. Let's just look at it. Let us assume that the rate of inflow is I. Rate of inflow is I. And rate of outflow, you don't have to write this in the exam. Rate of outflow is, let me say X, right? Now he says the capacity is 25 liters. It takes 5 minutes to fill the tank. So which means what? See, I per minute. Basically, you can fill I liters per minute, you can fill X liters per minute, you can remove X liters per minute. I liters per minute and X liters per minute. So in 5 minutes, how much of water will go inside? 5I. In 5 minutes, how much of water will come outside? 5X. The difference of these two is 25. Yes or no? 25 liters. How do we get 25 liters? 5 times of inlet minus 5 times of outlet. 5 times meaning 5 minutes, right? 1 minute you can fill I liters. So in 5 minutes you will fill 5 I liters. 1 minute you can remove X liters. So in 5 minutes you will remove 5X liters. The difference of these two will give you 25 liters. Yes or no? Or we can simplify this further. We can say I minus X is equal to 5. Right? Now the rate of outflow is doubled. If the rate of outflow is doubled, what happens? If the rate of outflow is doubled, then what happens? So basically what happens? Then the tank never fills up. Meaning what? We have no idea about the number of minutes, but inflow is, let's say, I. Outflow is 2X. The rate is doubled. You're getting it? In 1 minute, you will fill I liters. In 1 minute, you will remove 2X liters. So if the rate is double, outflow is double, and both the taps are open, the tank never fills up. So basically, the question here is that I minus 2x, I think, yeah, should be less than 0. You are able to follow? Just try and understand that equation or inequation that I given you. I minus 2x should be less than 0. Try to understand that part, and I think after that you will be able to follow it very easily. Or should be less, or we can say equal to 0 also. I think he says the tank never fills up. See what is happening here when you say tank never fills up? One equation is this 5i minus 5x equals 25. You may not simplify it also, that's okay. 5i minus 5x equals 25. The other equation that you got to understand is that I minus 2x. I mean, whatever you enter, fill in 1 minute, whatever remove in 1 minute, removal has become double now, 2x, because the outflow rate is doubled. The tank never fills up, meaning what? The difference of these two is going to be less than or equal to 0. I minus 2x is going to be less than or equal to 0. If it is 1 minute or 2 minutes, whatever you multiply, like whether you fill for 1 minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 20 minutes or 100 minutes, even if you fill it for 200 minutes, what happens? 200i minus 200 into 2x is less than or equal to 0. Which means 200 is common and it becomes I minus 2x equals to less than or equal to 0. So if we are taking less than or equal to 0, meaning it is equal to 0 means what? Any amount of time that you spend here, this tank is never going to fill up. Less than 0 means what? I mean, less than 0 actually means that it will get emptied before it gets filled. So basically we are saying it is equal to 0 or less than or equal to 0, right? So I think these are the two equations that you need to deal with, right? You're able to follow. I minus 2x is less than 0. Inlet is lesser than the outlet. Inlet capacity is lesser than the outlet capacity. I mean, it can never fill. You can simply take equal to 0 also. If you are like, let's take equal to 0, see what happens. Equal to 0. I minus 2x is equal to 0. I minus x equals to 5. Now, two equations, two variables, maybe you can try and solve. What is asking, which of the following can be the outlet flow rate? Which of the following can be the outlet? Can be, possible. So there are multiple values possible basically. You're able to follow. That is the reason I was using less than or equal to. You're able to follow. That is the reason we are using less than or equal to, but we can take equal to also to find out the value of x. Outlet flow rate. Outlet flow rate means x. Rate of outflow, right? So x has to be calculated. Solve these two equations, what happens? Let's take the difference, right? So I minus I and I gets cancelled. Minus x, minus of minus 2x. So x equals to 5 minus 0, 5. X equals to 5. So x is equal to 5, which means if the outlet capacity is 5 liters per minute, then this never gets filled up. So it should be 5. It should be 5. It should be at least 5 basically, right? If it is 3 or 4 or 2, it works, but it cannot be. It cannot be more than 4 basically, right? So option 3, 5 liters per minute will be the answer. X equals to 5 will be the answer. It can be 6 also basically. You know, when you say less than or equal to 0, it means x has to be this thing, 5 or greater than 5. See, take options and substitute. I mean, 5 liters is what you got answer. That's the correct answer, right? Can be possible value, right? The possible value is 5 liters per minute. You can also substitute the options to verify this. For example, let's take 3 liters. Option 1, right? Let's go by option 1. According to option 1, outlet flow rate is 3. So I minus 3 equals to 5. Understand, according to option 1, I minus 3 equals to 5, which means I is equal to 8. I is equal to 8. Now substitute that I equals to 8 and x equals to 3, right? I equals to 8 and x equals to 3 in this equation. So I minus 2x. So 8 minus, see that, you know, 8 minus 2x. 8 minus 2 into 3. Is it equal to 0? 8 minus 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. It's not equal to 0. So that is the reason option 1 is wrong. You're able to follow. It should be 0 or less than or equal to 0. That's what I'm telling, right? Even less is possible. If it gives you negative value, we can consider that as an answer. It should not give you a positive value. It should be less than or equal to 0. Substitute option 2. Option 2, what happens? If you substitute option 2, 4 liters. So x equals to 4. Implies I minus 4 equals to 5. So I is equal to 9. Now I'm taking the second equation. Second equation says 9 minus 2 times of x. 2 into 4. Is it less than or equal to 0? 9 minus 8 is 1. Is 1 less than or equal to 0? No. So option 2 is also wrong. And so on, you can verify. So when you substitute option 3, what happens? If you substitute option 3 that way, x equals to 5 according to option 3. Right? If x is 5, I will be equal to 10. Same calculation. I minus 5 equals to 5. So I equals to 10. Now 10 minus 2 into 5 should be less than or equal to 0. Correct or not correct? 10 minus 10 is 0. Yes or no? 0 is less than or equal to 0. We can say correct. Option 3 satisfies. So option 3 is the answer. And 5 is the break-even point basically here. We are saying that when the outlet capacity is 5 liters per minute, you just cannot fill the tank. I mean, it will never get full. It is continuously getting empty there. And if you get a negative value, meaning what? Negative actually is practically impossible in my view, but on paper you can take negative. Why am I saying practically impossible? So I'm saying practically impossible because if you actually get a negative value, you are trying to say that you are removing, let's say 6 liters per minute and filling only 3 liters per minute. How is it possible when you have not even filled 3 liters per minute? How can you remove 6 liters per minute? So practically it is not possible, but on paper you can say yes, x equals to 6 also works, x equals to 7 works maybe, right? Like for example, if you take x equals to 6, what happens? Just check. If you take x equals to 6, I becomes 11. 11 minus 2 into 6, 12. 11 minus 12 is minus 1. So on paper you can get negative values of, I mean you can get less than or equal to 0, but practically it won't be possible. In the real world it won't be possible. So the break-even point I would say is 5 liters per minute. So which of the following can be the outlet flow rate? It can be 5. It can be 5.1, it can be 5.2, that way also is possible. Alright, so the answer to this question is option 3.